So every week here on Film Don't Lie, Brent and I text. We say, what's the play of the game? We came up with 3 in this game.
3 options.
3 options. It was the Keely Ringo interception, which we talked about in our defensive series. It was the Stetson scramble for a touchdown, which just set a great tone. And we'll talk about that in our offensive series. But there was one more play that we kind of quickly chatted about and said, yeah, it was Jalen Carter. And I don't know that we're not supposed to be super hyperbolic in this and prisoner of the moment. But screw it. Jalen Carter is the best player in the country. Period. I'm going to say that. Don't care. Prisoner of the moment.
No.
Who has that?
You're right. He's the most dominant player in the country. Because what's interesting, like with, who's that? Will Anderson, that name comes up a lot. But you watch him, he's actually been kind of handled in a way recently, and the way Alabama's trying to play the defense. Carter is unblockable. He completely and utterly dominates almost every snap, by the way.
And Georgia's a different team without him.
Yes.
Georgia does not.
He is their most important player
against Tennessee without this guy. We'll focus on a lot of things on this play. Here he is. I think everyone knows kind of what happens. I'll let it play once, and you just give me your general thoughts, maybe what you were thinking as you saw it happen.
One, we were always setting up it was set up by the punt, awesome punt. But as it happened, I thought, get on it and get a touchdown. Like as I'm watching it, like get on, like I have a habit, even when I'm watching on the TV where the ball's on the ground, I scream ball. It's just habit. But the force with which he hit him, and then it's like, okay, what happened here? And then I see the ball laying on the ground. Okay, what happened there? And then I thought, oh, did Georgia get it? No, they didn't. And then I thought, well, that has to be a safety, right? But what's just amazing about him is this play. Like his hands, we talked about it in the defensive thing, but the way he uses his face and hands, like just go to the strike, like pause it at the strike point with him. It gives the guards no chance because of the power. Like right there, like see him right there with his hands in and the face mask right in the chin, basically, of the offensive lineman.
I was going to go to this version of it, but one thing that I noticed here, look how, they have the sled drills that they always do. You see that in every football movie ever. If you've been to a practice, you know what I'm talking about. Look at like driving those legs there, even compared to his teammates who kind of have the lean forward that a lot of players have. Look at him get low, drive his legs. I'm stronger than you. I'm also faster than you, and you're going to pay for this.
And it's just, you can't overthink him. He's the best combination of quickness and power at a size that shouldn't exist. He was the best defensive lineman on a whole defensive line and including one that just got picked number 1 overall. He was the best one. And depending upon the team that ends up with the number 1 pick, I think he's going to be the number 1 pick if it's a team that doesn't need a QB.
So this frame here, do you know what this reminded me of?
The Stokes hit?
I'm thinking of your neighbor against South Carolina.
Oh, yes.
And it almost could have turned into the same thing if Hooker doesn't just flail the ball away.
Yeah, and the ball goes straight sort of down when he –
the only thing that could have made this even better is if Carter ended up with the ball and then got to sprint around with his touchdown. But, yes, I do think it was a safety, but I also understand how they didn't really have a good camera angle to fully show it.
Well, the one for me, and we can leave it on this one, it's right about now, right there. Like his whole entire left leg is on the ground. And they had a camera angle, I think, showing that from the other side. And he still had the ball right here. Like I saw that and I'm like, oh, that's a safety. Because he didn't let go of the ball until he kind of all the way fell forward. But both of his legs were on the ground. But regardless, in the ultimate sort of ball don't lie moment, right? Georgia gets the punt, touchdown on the next play.
I mean, let's just marvel over Jalen Carter even more. I don't know what more you can say other than wow. And he did this so many times in this game. He did it against Florida on 3rd downs when he's a bit more limited. If he's healthy the rest of the season, even against double teams, it opened up everything else for Georgia's defenders to do more. And, I mean, Chaz Chambliss on the edge over there is getting handled here, and it doesn't matter because Jalen Carter can just dominate everything else.
And couple of things. Mean Mug and Mutt agrees with you that looked like Pollock against South Carolina. Two things. One, Hooker's staring down his first read again. That's why he even has time to do this here, as opposed to getting rid of the ball or making a play. Two, he played. And this is just his second game back from injury. He played 48 snaps. That's the most he's ever played in a game. He played 47 in the national championship game. Like, to come back and it be the second, like, he only played 20 against Florida. After doing that and then being out, like, that just to me goes to show how hard he worked from injury to this game. You can't play those 48 snaps and be that dominant like he was and be the game's highest graded player and I think almost the highest graded defender in a single game grade of any Georgia defender this season. Like, you don't do that unless you worked your absolute tail off all throughout the time of the injury.
Let's also acknowledge the complimentary football for this just situation. The 3rd and 6 at this point in the clock. How did the ball even get down here? Well, it was the punt from Brett Thorson that Kirby called a boomerang that went out at the 1-yard line. The Nyland Green chased down, though he probably didn't need to, but he was there if he had to. It went out of bounds there. Georgia has Tennessee back in its own territory here. Right now, this is a 7-3 game. If that punt goes through the end zone and Tennessee starts at the 20, maybe they're not in the situation where Jalen Carter can do this closer to the end zone. Maybe Tennessee's more in its offense. Maybe Hooker can be on his spot more. But he isn't, because Georgia put him in this situation to say, if you're standing in your end zone here, the last thing you want to see is Jalen Carter in your face. And guess what? You can't stop it. Sorry.
Nope. I will say I was shocked when the first down play was not a bomb. I thought as soon as that ball's on the 1-yard line, I thought, first play they're just going to chuck it deep just to do it. And they ran it 2 times and then did this.
I'm just going to play this one more time.
Yes.
Put it on the highlight reel. Top 5 pick? NFL draft?
3 at worst.
I mean, I'm sure the medical could say something.
Because some idiot team's gonna take C.J. Stroud or Will Levis in the top 2 or 3 picks.
Man,
neither of them to me are first round picks. But
if anybody takes Levis over Jalen Carter, then fire them on the spot.
I would borderline almost take Stetson Bennett over Will Levis. That's how much I just like you watch. Like, for example, I watched the Falcons game today for the first time in forever. Stetson Bennett can run that offense. Like, it's just anyway. That's neither here nor there. I'll have a whole lot of draft takes.
Stetson Bennett ran that offense to a national championship, and if you're still wanting to celebrate that, you should get our Jittery Joe's National Championship limited edition coffee. You can find this at the Jittery Joe stores in person, or you can go to jitteryjoes.com and purchase it. It's a great keepsake for any Georgia fan. I think it would be a great Christmas gift to get because it's really, really good coffee. I like to do my just drip coffee at home, and as the weather gets a little cooler, it tastes even better. When you get it, check out some of their other. So here's what the can looks like all the way around too. I can zoom in on this. It has the 2021 season, what happened on that schedule. Maybe they'll have another one after this year, the way that things are going for Georgia. Again, you see all the logos, the national championship logo, Indianapolis in there as well. There's some other coffees that you might enjoy too. The Attack the Day, that's available year-round. Mama's Boy, if you want a taste of Athens. And then their Morning Ride is definitely a favorite. Go check it out, jitteryjoes.com. Thank you to Jittery Joe's for supporting Film Don't Lie. Final thoughts, play of the day. Final thoughts, Jalen Carter. Sorry, Mississippi State, he's coming.
I think it looks like I can't even Kurt and then Cretaceous, maybe. I don't know. Williams, thank you. No, up one more. His comment before that.
Difference maker.
That's it. That states it as good as it possibly can be stated. 88 is the ultimate difference maker for this team.
I think Eric Hamby. I think this is another way to say it.
Yes.
I'm still intoxicated.
Many
by Jalen Carter or by Athens. And yes. Okay, though. Thanks for watching Film Don't Lie. If you're watching live, we have one more coming up. So if you'll go back to our YouTube channel, we will be starting our look at Georgia's offense, and it's courteous.
There we go. All right. Sorry.
Thanks for
I'm from
watching,
West
Freddie.
Virginia. I can screw that stuff up, right? I'm allowed. I'm not good at those things.
Well, people from West Virginia are screwing a lot of things up lately. Nick Saban. All right, so let's get on out of here. We're going to be talking about Georgia's offense and how it set the tone in this game for Georgia against Tennessee. A lot of love for Stetson Bennett and Ladd McConkey on the way. Join us live for that. If you're watching this later on, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and check out jitteryjoes.com for
Hit that thumbs up button.
That like button as well, and head over to ugasports.com because that's where we belong. That's our home. So thanks for supporting us. We'll see you next time here.